I welcome you to this lesson once again. I'm teacher Katimbo Richard, teaching mathematics, mathematics primary 6. In the previous episode, I introduced percentages as part of fractions. Today we are continuing with the same percentages, but this time round looking at percentage increase, decrease, profit and loss. So ensure you follow so that you can answer all the work concerning the same, that is increase, decrease, loss and profit in terms of percentages, and you will be able to answer all the activities concerning the same, that is from page 47 all the way to page 53 of our workbook P.6 term 2, and you reach that perfection you need. So we are looking at percentage increase, decrease, profit and loss, and then we answer. So we shall understand the meaning of increase. To increase is to add value to existing quantity, so I have got a better value, as opposed to decrease. So to decrease, to lessen, to reduce, to have a lessened value from the original one. So we expect a lessened value, and then profit is that excess amount of money of the selling price over the buying price. That amount of money one gains from the sale of the commodity at high amount is called a profit. Then loss is the opposite of profit. So that amount of money that lessens from one's buying price of the commodity when he has sold a less amount, that is called a loss. So that is what we are going to deal with. So we are looking at the examples of how one can deal with those four: percentage increase, decrease, profit and loss. And now, example number 1 reads, increase 2,000 by 30%. Increase 2,000 by 30%. Like I said before, to increase is to add value to the existing quantity, so I'll get a greater one. So, and the greatest percentage, or the original percentage, is 100%. So when we increase by 30%, it means you are going to add on the 30%, and then you work out, like you see, 100% plus 30% is equal to 130%. And you say percentages are fractions, so write 130% as a fraction. You say 130 out of 100 times 2,000. And so do we cancel? You say by 10 by 10. Whatever cancels zeros, you are divided by 10. So 130 divided by 10, you get 13. 100 divided by 10, you get that 10. So then 10 divided by 10, you get 1, and 2,000 divided by 10, you get 200. As you see, we are made with 13 times 200, where 13 alone times 2, you get 26, and then you bring down those 2 zeros, so the answer is 2,600. So when 2,000 is increased by 30%, one gets 2,600. Compare the two, the original and the outcome. So the outcome must be greater than the original. The original was 2,000 before being increased, and now after being increased, being added by 600, so that is 2,600. So expect a greater answer in case you are asked to increase. Like it has come out, so must you work out in that way. Alternatively, one can use this working. If you don't use this first one by just mere addition of 30% onto 100%, you use the very original amount, which is 2,000 plus 30% of it. 2,000 plus 30% of it. So long as you use that plus sign of addition, you will get the answer. That's 2,000 plus 30% of the 2,000. Then you go 2,000 plus 30 out of 100 times 2,000. You cancel by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10. The remaining 30 times 20, where 3 times 2 is a 6 and then these 2 zeros come. So upon 2000 plus 600, you get the same answer, 2600 like we got before. So those two are legally acceptable. So use any of those two, please, you reach the answer. So that's the way we deal with the increase, as opposed to number 2, which brings a decrease. So decrease 1,500 shillings by 20%. It reads decrease 1,500 shillings by 20%. So the opposite of increase is decrease. Opposite of increase is decrease. So now here we expect a lower answer, a lessened answer, a lessened amount than it is here, which is 1,500. So what do we do now? We are going to subtract to respond to the word decrease, decrease, decrease. You are going to lessen. So from the original, it's 100% minus 20%, which is called 80%. Now use that 80% in terms of fraction and multiply by 1,500. So you say 80% means 80 out of 100. Now times the number to be reduced, which is 1,500 shillings. Then we do divide by 10, by 10, by 10, then by 10, by 10. We remain with 8 times 150 shillings. So we multiply 15 by 8. Remember to add that 0 later because it's 150, but here I'm using 15. 15 times 8. So 8 times 5 is 40. Write 0 and root 4. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4. You get 12. So remember what 0 we kept. So that's 1,200 shillings. So when 1,500 shillings decreased or reduced by 20%, we get 1,200 shillings. As I promised you before, we were to get lessen the answer, an answer less than the original. The original is 1,500 and the new one after the decrease has been effected is 1,200 shillings. So you see, indeed, it has been reduced. It has been decreased. So that's how we deal with the decrease. You can as well use this working. That is 1,500 shillings minus 20% of it. 20% of 1,500 shillings. And then you go and say 1,500 shillings minus 20 out of 100 times the same 1,500 shillings. Then you cancel by 10 by 10 by 10 and by 10. You remain 2 times 15 or 2 times 150. Where 2 times 15 is a 30 and then a 0. So you get 300 shillings as a decrease. So you are reducing 1,500 shillings by 300 shillings. This was called a decrease. So reduce it by 300. So that's 1,500 shillings minus 300. You will still get the same answer as before. That's 1,200 shillings. So any of those two methods works. So we go to example number 3 for today. So calculate percentage profit. We have gone profit now. We have talked about increase and decrease. Now we go percentage profit. So calculate percentage profit on an article bought at 1,000 shillings and sold at 1,300 shillings. So here they want the percentage profit. You must know the formula of how one can reach the same percentage profit. You must know percentage profit equals profit out of buying price times 100%. I said percentage profit equals profit out of buying price times 100%. You must know that buying price is the same as cost price. When I say calculate the cost price of an item, I will be saying the buying price, or find the buying price of that commodity. So when you find someone saying percentage profit is called profit out of cost price times 100%, it will be the same as profit out of buying price times 100%. But when you ask for percentage loss, you say percentage loss equals loss out of buying price times 100%. Both use buying price, please. So ensure you use buying price Where profit is, use loss when you ask for percentage loss. So, but here we are asking for percentage profit. So you say percentage profit equals profit out of buying price times 100%. I say percentage profit equals profit out of buying price times 100%. Now, before anything is done, ensure I have these two. That's profit and buying price. Ask yourself, do I have the profit? Check whether you have got a profit here. So, an item or an article or a commodity or a good was bought at 1,000 shillings and sold at this. So this is buying price, that's 1,000, and this is selling price. Indeed, we don't have the profit. So we know how to find the profit. You say, but profit equals selling price minus buying price. You say, but profit is equals selling price minus buying price. Where selling price is 1,300 shillings and the buying price was 1,000 shillings. So those subtract them. That is 1,300 shillings minus 1,000 shillings. Subtract properly, you get 300 shilling profit. So have the profit of 300 shillings and the buying price at 1,000. So can we proceed on to finding the percentage profit? We say the profit, which is 300, out of the buying price, which is 1,000, then times 100%. So ensure you substitute accordingly, and then you start your cancellations. So do we cancel? We say by 10 by 10, by 10 by 10, by 10 by 10. So we cancel a numerator and the denominator of the same divisor. So by 10 by 10, by 10 by 10, by 10 by 10. So you see, you are made with 3 times 10%. With 3 times 10 is 30. So the answer is 30%. So our percentage profit is 30%. That's how we do it. All in all, one must know that percentage profit is called profit out of buying price times 100%. And one must know how to get a profit given the selling and buying price. You say profit equals selling price minus buying price. After getting that profit, as we have got 300, then proceed on to your substitutions of profit and buying price. Please, profit and buying price. Don't use selling price in any percentage application. Don't use it. Percentage profit, percentage loss, percentage discount, percentage decrease and increase. We don't use the selling things because they are not original. So the original price is ever the buying price. Why? It's the one that initiates you into owning the commodity. It allows you own the commodity. You first buy and then own. So you don't start by selling. We start by buying. So on buying the commodity, then it is yours. So it's the original price. So we use the original price here to get the percentage profit and loss, as well as decrease and increase. As we look at example number 4 for today, it says, Grace bought a skirt at 15,000 shillings and sold it at 12,000 shillings. Oh, Grace bought a shirt at 15,000 shillings and sold it at 12,000 shillings. Then the main question reads, find her percentage loss. You already see that she bought at a high amount and sold it at a less amount. She bought it at a high amount and sold it at a less amount. So I was saying, Grace bought a skirt at 15,000 shillings and sold it at 12,000 shillings. Find her percentage loss. So you see that this Grace bought this skirt at a high amount, 15,000 shillings, and sold it at a less amount. So this Grace must have incurred a loss, or must have bought a loss. Now, that's why you're asking for percentage loss. When does a loss arise? When one buys a commodity, like a skirt is here, at a high amount and sells it at a lessened amount. Like you see Grace buying at 15,000 shillings and selling at 12,000 shillings. So that's the situation that leads to a loss. So never do this, please. Every businessman or woman aims at acquiring a profit or getting a profit. Meaning, one buys at less amount and sells it a commodity at a high amount. So that is a successful business. But now this one will never reach a success. This is a collapsing business. So someone buying at a high amount and selling at a low amount. So you get a loss. So find the percentage loss. Like I said, percentage loss equals loss out of buying price times 100%. So as you see here, we don't have the amount for the loss. You first get it by selling, getting the buying price minus the selling price. That's what I'm going to do here. You say percentage loss equals loss out of buying price times 100%. I said percentage loss equals loss out of buying price times 100%. So as I said before, loss amount is not here, but you can easily get it because you have the buying price and the selling price. So you say, but loss equals buying price minus selling price. The buying price was 15,000 shillings and the selling price was this 12,000 shillings. So we say 15,000 shillings minus 12,000 shillings. Subtract properly like you see in this perspective, and then get 3,000 shilling loss. So this press lost this amount, 3,000 shillings. So up the loss at 3,000 shillings and the buying price at 15,000 shillings. So we can proceed on to find the percentage loss they're asking for. So say percentage loss equals 3,000 out of 15,000 times 100%. Then you go deep into your cancellations. We start our cancellations. I said whenever we cancel zeros, we actually dividing by 10. So don't get surprised when I say by 10 when you see cancel with 0 instead. So we say by 10 by 10, by 10 by 10, by 10 by 10. So we have got 3 out of 15, where 3 and 15 are divisible by 3. So 3 by 3 once, 15 by 3 get 5. So I've got 105. So 105 are still divisible by 5. So 5 divided by 5 you get a 1. 10 divided by 5 you get a 2, and this 0 divided by 5 you get a 0. You see, we are remaining with 1 time, that is 20%. So where 1 time 20 you get 20, so our percentage loss is 20%. So Grace incurred that loss of 20%. All in all, you must know how to get a percentage loss, you must know how to get a loss, and then do substitute accordingly, effect the cancellations successfully, and get the answer 20%. Go through that procedure, you will be able to answer all the questions concerning percentage loss as well as the profit we did before. As we look at example number 5 before, number 5 now. So we're saying a trader made a loss of 3,000 shillings after selling an article at 12,000 shillings. It reads again, a trader made a loss of 3,000 shillings after selling an article at 12,000 shillings. Then question A reads, how much did the article cost? How much did the article cost? So when I say how much the article cost, I'll be asking for cost price. And as I said before, cost price is the same as buying price. So somebody got a loss. Here you must use your common sense. So when someone gets a loss, you must know he must have sold at less than the amount. Therefore, he bought at a high amount. So now that they are asking for the buying price, which must be higher, we are going to find by addition. So you say buying price is equal to selling price plus loss. Buying price is equal to selling price plus loss. So our selling price is 12,000 shillings and the loss is 3,000 shillings. So do you add them? So buying price is equal to 12,000 shillings plus 3,000 shillings. Order them vertically in this perspective and add, well, that's 12,000 shillings plus 3,000 shillings. Where 0 plus 0 is a 0, 0 plus 0 is a 0, 0 plus 0 is a 0, then you get 2 plus 3 is a 5, and this one down. So this trader bought this article at 15,000 shillings and sold it at 12,000 shillings, thereby getting that loss of 3,000 shillings. So it has some meaning there. So when does one get a loss? When he sells a commodity at a less amount than he bought it. So I told you, ensure you don't sell that style. Every businessman or woman aims at getting a profit, whereas this trader is not a successful one. He is selling at a loss, and that is not business that leads to prosperity. It's not prosperous, that is. Please, if you want to prosper, you sell at a high amount. Don't do this trader did. So we go to part B. Calculate his Palangelos. We have already got it in the number before. That is number, or example number 4, where grace sold a less amount. So we said Palangelos equals loss out of buying price times 100%. So the loss is 3,000 and the buying price has been got in A as 15,000 shillings. So just substitute here, value loss equals 3,000 out of 15,000 times 100%. So we start our calculations like we did by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10 by 3 ones, and 15 by 3 get a 5, 5 by 5 ones, 10 by 5 get a 2, and 0 by 5 get a 0. So do we get value loss as 20% like we got before? So that's how that is set. And that's how it's done. So that's how we deal with balance increase, decrease, profit and loss, and all that work that concerns the same will be found on pages 47 all the way to 53 of our term 2 P6 workbook. And ensure you watch this properly, you will be able to answer accordingly. Advice goes to you. You may not watch the whole lesson fully. You first watch a particular example, then you go into the book and then see which work for which it is an example. Please, you will be able to answer. Then you go to the next example. You first pause a little and then see specifically which example that so for which work is that example, then you'll be able to answer that particular work as you continue like that. In so doing, we'll be able to answer all the activities for the said pages. Like the pages for this particular lesson are 47 up to 53. So all that coverage will be answered successfully if you did like I told you now. So I'm teacher Katimbo Richard that has taught you that much. For more information about the same, use these two numbers, telephone numbers, and then you get clarity in case you don't understand any of the explanations there. So you will reach me on those 2 lines. And therefore, that's the end of the lesson. Stay safe.